Well, hey there, Elevate friends and family. Mark Pomery here. Great to have you with us for this week's Elevate Church online experience, where we're dropping the fourth and final installment of our series, Jesus on Money. So stick around. That's coming up shortly. Before we get to that, though, we love to worship together. So I want to encourage you to join in. Got a little bit of an Aussie connection here. The Belonging Company, headquartered in Nashville in the USA, leading us in two incredible worship songs. The words are going to be on the screen, so how about you join wherever you are in the world.
I give you my attention, all my focus, pushing off the limits. In this moment, I feel your spirit moving all around me. Come and have your way. I'm looking at the dry bones, you revive it. There's faith inside of my soul, you're igniting. You're calling me to levels that are higher. I can see your face. When I set my eyes on you, everything else fades. When I look your way, everything else fades. When I look your way, everything else fades. To gaze upon your beauty, full of wonder, the world falling behind me. There's no other name like your name, and there's nothing that can take your place. When I set my eyes on you, everything else fades. When I look your way, everything else fades. When I look your way, everything else fades. Oh, when we look your way, Jesus, dancing in the light of your glory, joy is awakening, rising like the sun every morning. Hope is alive in me. Yeah, we're dancing in the light of your glory. Joy is awakening, rising like the sun every morning. Hope is alive in me. When I set my eyes on you, when I set my eyes on you, Jesus. When I set my eyes on you, everything else fades. When I look your way, everything else fades. When I look your way, everything else fades.
Came from glory, took on flesh to save the lost. Grace and mercy displayed upon the cross, our redemption. He's the hope for all mankind, one name over everything. everything. One name over everything. Jesus over everything. He reigns forevermore. Our song for all eternity. Jesus Christ is Lord. Who can rival our resurrected King? In one moment, He brought death to its knees. All the power, oh, and all authority to one name over everything. Yes, one name over everything. Oh, Jesus over everything. He reigns forevermore. Our song for all eternity. Jesus Christ is Lord. Yes, Jesus over everything. He reigns forevermore. Our song for all eternity. Jesus Christ is Lord. Oh, He is Lord. He is Lord. Over fear, over shame, over all anxiety, over troubles and all pain, over sickness and disease. For He reigns on the throne. All praise to Him alone. One name over everything. Over death and all sin, over hell, over the grave. Darkness bows and demons flee at the mention of His name. For He reigns on the throne. All praise to Him alone. One name over everything. Oh, Jesus over everything. He reigns forevermore. Our song for all eternity. Jesus Christ is Lord. Yes, Jesus over everything. He reigns forevermore. Our song for all eternity. Jesus Christ is Lord. Oh, our song for all eternity is Jesus Christ is Lord. Yes, Jesus Christ is Lord.
Hey, so right out of the gate, let me ask you a question. And before you answer it, just understand there's no judgment here. It's just a bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a thought experiment. But has anybody out there ever eaten more than you planned to eat? You know, you grabbed the block of chocolate and you just kind of snapped off one row, maybe like 2 squares or 4 squares, and you put the rest of the chocolate back in the fridge or the cupboard if you store it in the wrong place. You're a cupboard person. And you went and ate your 2 or your 4 squares, and before you knew it, you found yourself wandering back into where you put the chocolate, and now you're wondering, do I break off another row, or do I just kind of, face reality and take the whole block back to the couch? Maybe, you bought like a large family-sized bag of chips, and you thought, this is going to do me for the week, and it didn't even do you for the night. Maybe you bought a box of Magnums, a full pack of Magnums, and you're like, I'm just going to have one delicious ice cream Magnum every Saturday night, like a sort of a weekend treat. So technically you've bought a month's supply, or so you told yourself, until you discovered that, well, it didn't last. And all of these things, you effectively finished them ahead of schedule in what is commonly referred to as a snacksident. But I share that, again, no judgment. It's just kind of a metaphor for life, that so often, no matter how much we have, we're always wanting more. You've probably been through this. You've saved for the thing, you've got the money for the thing, you've bought the thing, and you had been convincing yourself through that entire process that happiness was just one purchase away. But you got the thing, and you played with the thing, and so before you knew it, you were starting to dream about the next thing that was going to make you even more happy. The good news is that as Jesus followers, we don't have to wait until we acquire the next thing to experience joy and happiness, because I'll put it to you today, having a relationship with God is going to be the source of our joy, and that does not change no matter our financial or material circumstances. All right, hold that thought. Now, every year we teach a series on God's principles of financial management, and this year we're asking a simple question, like, what did Jesus have to say about how we are to think about and then ultimately manage money and stuff in the way that God's actually set us up? And look, if you've been tracking with us over the last few weeks, you would have discovered some of this stuff, well, it goes actually against the messaging a lot of the times of our prevailing culture. And so it's confronting, it's been challenging, but ultimately I hope it's been encouraging. It's hopefully pointed you to much more of a true north about, if we learn and consistently apply God's principles for financial management, we're going to actually find ourselves more likely and better positioned to experience the sort of results and outcomes God has for us. And look, some of them might be financial outcomes, but here's the great news. The great news is some of the outcomes are going to be things that money can't buy. Things like more peace, more joy, more freedom, and more purpose. So look, just a quick recap. Of course, if you missed any of the first 3 episodes, installments, you can watch them on this platform, or you can listen to them on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Elevate Church Perth. But week 1, we covered the treasure principle, just where Jesus challenged his followers, when it comes to money and stuff, prioritize things of eternal value. You can't take it with you, but you can send some of it ahead. Week 2, we talked about the security principle, this idea that only a rich relationship with God can give us lasting security. And if you miss that, or you prioritize the endless accumulation of money and stuff to the neglect of a rich relationship with God, guess what? When it's all over, it all goes back in the box and you can't take it with you. Last week, the faithfulness principle. Jesus made it very clear, if you're faithful with a little, God can trust you with more. And today is our 4th and final installment of this series, and I want to talk today about the generosity principle. Very simply stated, the generosity principle says you can't out give God. When it comes to your time, when it comes to the talents and the treasure that God's entrusted to us, we can't outgive God. And if and as we intentionally and consistently prioritize God and what matters to him with what he's entrusted to us, he promises that he'll make it worth our while. All right. If you've got your smartphone camera, scan this flow code. It's going to take us to Luke chapter 6. Luke was one of Jesus' 4 biographers. And look, while you're doing that, while this series has, it's called Jesus on Money, and it's had a very specific emphasis on money, it actually isn't intended to be an exclusive emphasis on money. It's actually more, if we zoom out a little bit, principles about how we are to think about and use everything that God's entrusted to us, which includes this teaching right here, where Jesus said, do not judge others, and you will not be judged. Look, we could stop right there. We could take that on a whole tangent and do a whole message, a whole series, probably a whole year on that. Okay, but we won't. Not today anyway. Do not condemn others, or it will come back against you. Forgive others. Well, there's a whole other thread right there, and you will be forgiven. And then, tying into this series, give and you will receive. Your gift will return to you in full, pressed down, shaken together, to make room for more, running over and poured into your lap. The amount you give will determine the amount you get back. This is essentially Jesus double-clicking on the timeless universal law that God set up, called the law of sowing and reaping. And one of the most important things we need to understand about the law of sowing and reaping is that sowing comes first. You don't reap if you don't first sow. So Jesus actually talks about some of the things we need to first sow. We need to first sow. Don't judge. Don't condemn others. Forgive others, and then give. And then Jesus says, if you plant those sorts of seeds, the return you can expect is freedom from judgment, no retribution, forgiveness actually sent in your direction, and then this idea that as we give, that we'll receive back, which, by the way, can include money, but it's not limited to money. It can include time, more quantity of time, more quality of time, more encouragement, and ultimately more purpose, using money for more than just the endless accumulation of more stuff. He's saying, focus on giving more than getting, and he promises that God will take care of the rest. So right off the bat, and we're going to get super, super practical. This is very much Action Man Week in this series as we wrap it up, week 4. Give something. And I'm just saying something. I'm not even putting a number on that. We'll come back to some guidelines, but I'm not putting a number on it. Give something. But you might be thinking, well, all right, Marco, how much is something? Like, how much matters? Well, you tell me. Let's say you're walking down the street and you see it's raining, a bit windy. You see a 5-cent coin on the pavement. Do you stop and pick it up? Well, the answer to that question maybe kind of give you a clue as to what you think something, like where the line begins. What if it's a $1 coin or a $2 coin? A couple of years ago, I was out running early in the morning. It was raining. It was windy. I was literally the only person stupid enough to go out running in that weather. But I remember I turned a corner and I saw a $20 note on the ground, on the road actually, stuck because of the rain to the road surface. And I was running. Did I stop to pick up that $20? Yeah. I'm like, hey, I should be rewarded for being the only person stupid enough to be out running in this weather. But it's kind of, I'm just having a bit of fun with that. But like, nobody can define something for you. When I say give something, well, that's literally between you and God, what that something looks like. And it's going to vary from person to person based on circumstances, based on resources, and even based on your current level of faith that you're able to tap into. Now, give something, you're like, you know what, I'm not giving yet, and I'm not really in a position to give a lot. Maybe you're not yet very, like blessed with a lot of resources. Maybe you're early in your faith journey, and the idea of giving something away is a little bit daunting for you. And maybe you just like think, well, then look, my little doesn't matter. It's only the 3-figure giving and the 4-figure giving and the 5-figure giving that all the heavyweights and the veterans and the high net worth individuals are giving. And people sometimes then just like don't begin their giving journey. Like, it's just, what's the point? It's not going to do anything. It's not going to move the needle at all. But I want you to know, and I'm going to show you today, that God sees every act of giving and every act of generosity, and it all matters to him. And here's an example. We'll drop into a slice of history where Jesus was sitting inside the temple, or probably at the door, but anyway, he was within the temple boundary, and he was sitting near the offering box with his handpicked disciples, watching people as they approached the box and put their offering in the box. Like, well, that's creepy. And Mark, when he records this account, one of Jesus' biographers, he says, like, many rich people put in large amounts. Good, great. So you should. It's not about just getting rich. Jesus' command is about being rich. Okay. Then Mark records a poor widow came and dropped in 2 small coins. Like seemingly not much, and seemingly we might conclude something that's not really going to have any real impact. It's not going to pay for the cup of coffee for the next person. It's not going to keep the lights on for more than a few more seconds. But Jesus did this. He called his disciples to him and he said, I tell you the truth, this poor widow has given more than all the others who are making contributions, for they gave a tiny part of their surplus, but she, poor as she is, has given everything she had to live on. And I said at the beginning of this series, you can let your guard down when you're listening to Jesus teaching about how we are to think and act about money and stuff, because he's not out to hustle you. He's not out to get something from you. He noticed the widow. He made the widow the hero of this story. He noticed how much she gave, and it wasn't the same amount as the wealthy people, but it was a greater percentage. Like, it cost her a lot more relative to where she was in her journey. But what Jesus really noticed was her faith in that moment, her heart in that moment, her willingness to say, you know what, I'm going to give everything I have to live on and trust that God is going to take care of me. And this is really the essence of this generosity principle, that it's about first prioritizing God with what he's blessed us with financially, and trusting that as we give him our first and our best, he'll take care of the rest. And, it's a journey. We need to understand that. Some maybe of you joining us today haven't actually begun that journey. Well, maybe today's your day. Knowing that it's a journey, here's just like what the steps look like. First of all, it's recognizing that God blesses me, that every good gift comes from heaven above. And it includes family, it includes friends, it includes talents, it includes opportunities, and it includes financial resources. We might think that our business or our job is the one that supplies our financial resources, but actually it's ultimately God who supplies our financial resources. So step one, just acknowledging that God blesses me. He's my provider. Out of that, it's then taking the next step, I bless others. It's this understanding that I'm blessed to be a blessing, that everything that God blesses me with, including financial resources, is not just about me and not just for me. So I take the intentional step to bless others. And then Jesus makes it very, very clear. We read it right at the top in Luke chapter 6, that I receive more. And you think, well, that's just selfish. No, it's not selfish. I mean, I don't think it should be our number one reason for giving, that we can receive more, but it's in the mix, and that's okay. Like, step 2 was actually blessing other people, and then step 3, God says, great, I will take care of you. I will take care of the rest. And by the way, he might bless you with more financial resources. I know that he has, I know that he can, and I'm confident he probably will in different ways at different times to different people in different amounts, but it's not limited to financial resources that we'll get blessed in return. It might be things that money can't buy, that you find more encouragement, that you're able to take some of what God's blessed you with to bless others. More joy in that, more purpose in that, recognizing that we're not just here to prioritize the accumulation of more money and more stuff. It's not all about us, and it's not all just for us. So look, if you're not yet in the game when it comes to the generosity journey, can I unapologetically, strongly encourage you to start today and simply give something. And this has been coming up for us during this series in our Elevate groups in particular. Excuse me. It's come up in some one-on-one conversations around the place. You know, some people just acknowledging, yeah, you know what? I'm not yet in the game. I haven't yet taken that first step to giving. What do you think I should do? And I'm very clear. I say to them, I give the same. I've had that question asked of me many, many times over the last several decades. I give the same answer every single time. I say, you know what? Take your first step and make it a baby step. And I put a number on it. Give, next payday, give $5. It's not zero. It's not 5 million. It's $5, which I call join the $5 club. And just take that baby step. And that's my encouragement to you today. If you're at zero, if you're not yet in the game, if you're not yet on the generosity journey, join the $5 club. And I am convinced, and I've seen it play out time and time and time again, God is pleased and God provides. But don't just do it once. Give something. Set yourself up to give consistently. And look, my wife and I, we do this. We get paid every fortnight. And on payday, I open up our bank app. And the first thing I do when I'm moving money around and I'm paying bills and I'm transferring to our mortgage and I'm doing this and doing that, but before I do any of that, the first thing I do is I give. I give to Elevate Church. I give through Elevate Church. And then I will work through the rest of the list. Mortgage, electricity bill, internet service provider. Cool. But the first thing I do is give to God. And I do this, and we do this every payday, every 2 weeks. And whether you get paid weekly or fortnightly or monthly or whatever it looks like, my strong encouragement to you is get in the habit of giving consistently. Because anything that you do consistently when it comes to God, praying consistently, serving consistently, and giving consistently, it has a cumulative effect. It has a compounding effect. You'll start to see yourself growing more over time. And we don't give because we have to. We give because we want to. We give because we want to see God's kingdom expanded. We've seen lives changed. We want to see more lives changed. We want to see more people reached and more people built. And we don't give out of like a legal requirement. Well, God says you have to give. We don't give because we have to. We give because we want to. We give as a cheerful response to everything that God has done for us, that God is doing for us, and that we're seeing God do in and around Elevate and his kingdom. We give as a cheerful response. And we know that you can't outgive God, that when you're generous with your life, God is generous in your life. So, real practical, if you haven't yet taken a first step, then at a minimum, today, take a baby step. Get on our Elevate Church AU app or go to our Elevate website, elevatechurch.me. You'll find the give sections in those platforms, and just take a baby step. Join the $5 Club. Make that your first step. And then, hey, those of you that have at some point in the past taken that first step, maybe God's been stirring you through this series to take a next step, to kick it up a gear, to stretch your faith some more, and just to keep allowing yourself the opportunity to sow and to reap, to see God move and work in and through your life, to take some of what you've worked and God's blessed you with, to receive and take those financial resources and send them on, send them into the kingdom, send them into things of eternal value. Now, next week, we have a brand new series launching called Surprised by Happiness. God is for happiness. He's for joy. Life's not intended to be a misery, a drudgery, a slog. That's not spirituality. So I want you to join us. We're going to start by looking at what's become known as the Beatitudes, Jesus' teaching on what it looks like from a kingdom perspective to experience joy and happiness. Bring someone with you to be part of that, and we look forward to seeing you then.